Alright guys, welcome back to Little Lawn Gaming Channel. Today we have Season 8 of the Bugatti series on F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Some of the pictures have gone a little bit darker than others. I do apologise for this. I'm not entirely sure why it's happened, but I'll try and stop it from happening in future videos. Either way, let's get into the driver changes. So there was just the two changes. It was a straight swap in fact. Dan Ticktum went from Alpine to Williams. And that led to Yuki Tsunoda going from Williams to Alpine. Let's see how this affects the Bahrain Grand Prix. And in the first race of the season, it is Mick Schumacher who wins the Grand Prix of Bahrain. Max Verstappen second, Stroll gets on the podium in third for AlphaTauri. George Russell fourth, Perez fifth, Rossi up in sixth for Bugatti, Ricciardo seventh, Ocon eighth, Sainz ninth, and Giovinazzi picked up the final point for Williams in 10th. And in Imola, Stroll continues a decent start to the season with a victory ahead of Mick Schumacher in second, Verstappen third, Bottas fourth, Ricciardo fifth, Ocon sixth, Norris seventh, Leclerc eighth, Perez ninth, Tsunoda 10th, just beating out Rossi who finished 11th. And 3 races into the new season, it's 3 different victors as Max Verstappen wins in Portugal, Mick Schumacher second, Ricciardo third, Leclerc fourth, Russell fifth, Norris sixth, Perez seventh, Stroll eighth, Sainz ninth, as Tsunoda picked up the final point in 10th for Alpine. And it's back-to-back victories for Max Verstappen in Spain as he beats Ricciardo who finishes second, Leclerc rounds off the podium in third, Russell fourth, Schumacher fifth, Sainz sixth, Norris seventh, Bottas eighth, Perez ninth, and Tsunoda once again getting that final point in 10th. And in Monaco, Daniel Ricciardo conquers the streets as Leclerc finishes second in his home Grand Prix. Mick Schumacher rounds off the podium in third, Russell fourth, Norris fifth, Verstappen all the way down in sixth, Rossi managed to get himself up to seventh, Stroll eighth, Bottas ninth, and Giovinazzi finished in 10th. And all that means after 5 races, Max Verstappen leads the Drivers' Championship 5 points ahead of Mick Schumacher. Daniel Ricciardo is third, Charles Leclerc fourth, Stroll fifth, Russell sixth, Norris seventh, Perez eighth, Bottas ninth, Rossi creeping into the top 10, Sainz 11th, Ocon 12th, Tsunoda 13th, and Giovinazzi is 14th. And in the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way, 11 points ahead of Bugatti in second, AlphaTauri are only 18 points off the pace in third, and Mercedes only 19 off the pace in fourth. A 4-way battle as it stands. Ferrari are 5th, McLaren 6th, Alpine 7th, Williams 8th, Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo and Haas all yet to score a point. And in Azerbaijan, Mick Schumacher led the way as he beat out Stroll to victory. Verstappen rounded off the podium in third, Ricciardo fourth, Bottas fifth, Norris sixth, Ocon seventh, Rossi 8th, Tsunoda 9th, and Sainz got that final point in 10th. And Mick Schumacher makes it back-to-back victories with a win in Canada. Stroll once again in second place. Norris rounds off the podium in third. Rossi as high as fourth for Bugatti. Verstappen in fifth. Ocon sixth. Ricciardo seventh. Russell 8th. Perez 9th. And Leclerc finished in 10th. Next up, we headed to France where George Russell picked up victory for AlphaTauri. Max Verstappen was second, Lando Norris third, Ricciardo fourth, Mick Schumacher fifth, Perez sixth, Leclerc seventh, Stroll 8th, Rossi managed to get up into 9th, and Carlos Sainz finished 10th. But Max Verstappen fights back in Austria, winning the Grand Prix ahead of Mick Schumacher in second, Russell rounding off the podium in third, Stroll's fourth, Norris fifth, Leclerc sixth, Ricciardo 7th, Perez 8th, Bottas 9th, and Rossi got the final point for Bugatti in 10th. And in Britain, George Russell wins his home Grand Prix ahead of Daniel Ricciardo in second, Norris rounds off the podium in third, Verstappen 4th, Bottas 5th, Stroll 6th, Schumacher 7th, Ocon 8th, Tsunoda 9th, and Sainz just pipped Rossi to 10th. And as we head into the mid-season break, Mick Schumacher wins the final race in Hungary ahead of Max Verstappen. Leclerc and Sainz make a very good weekend for Ferrari in 3rd and 4th. Stroll and Russell in 5th and 6th for AlphaTauri. Perez was 7th, Bottas 8th, Rossi 9th, and Guan Yu Zhou picked up his first point of the season in 10th. And at the halfway stage in the Drivers' Championship, Mick Schumacher leads Max Verstappen by 6 points in an absolute ding-donger of a title race. Ricciardo was 3rd, Russell 4th, Stroll 5th, Norris 6th, Leclerc 7th, Bottas 8th, Perez 9th, and Rossi still holding a position in the top 10. And in the Constructors' Championship, AlphaTauri lead the way, 10 points ahead of Bugatti in 2nd. Red Bull are only 12 points off the pace in 3rd. Mercedes have dropped off of a little bit, 70 points now off the pace in 4th. And it's McLaren in 5th, Ferrari 6th, Alpine 7th, Williams 8th, and Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo and Haas are all still yet to get a point. So after the mid-season break, all the drivers feeling refreshed, revitalised, and Lance Stroll and George Russell certainly do have AlphaTauri as Stroll wins in Belgium with Russell backing him up in 2nd place. Verstappen 3rd, Perez 4th, Norris 5th, Ricciardo 6th, Schumacher in a very disappointing 7th, Tsunoda 8th, Bottas 9th, and Zhou picked up another point in 10th. However, in the Netherlands, Max Verstappen wins his home Grand Prix. Russell 2nd, Perez 3rd, Ricciardo 4th, Leclerc 5th, Schumacher once again disappointing in 6th, Bottas 7th, Rossi 8th, Stroll 9th, and Norris finished in 10th. And in Italy, AlphaTauri show they've certainly delivered a car for the second half of this season. George Russell wins with Lance Stroll backing him up in 2nd, Ricciardo 3rd, Norris 4th, Ocon 5th, Leclerc 6th, Perez 7th, Schumacher finished 8th, Tsunoda 9th, Bottas 10th, and Max Verstappen failed to finish. And next up was Russia. We don't have the picture, so I've made a little graphic where Mick Schumacher won, Lance Stroll came 2nd, and Max Verstappen rounded off that podium in 3rd. George Russell came 4th, Ricciardo 5th, Leclerc 6th, Bottas 7th, Sainz 8th, Ocon 9th, and Valentino Rossi got that final point in 10th. And as we continue round Asia, Mick Schumacher wins in Singapore. Valentino Rossi came 2nd for a Bugatti 1-2. Max Verstappen finished 3rd for Red Bull. Russell came 4th. Leclerc 5th. Stroll 6th. Sainz 7th. Perez 8th. Bottas 9th. Tsunoda got the final point in 10th and the fastest lap. But how good does that Bugatti 1-2 look? After the jubilance of Singapore, Max Verstappen has fought back in Japan. George Russell and Lance Stroll getting 2nd and 3rd for AlphaTauri. Bottas 4th, Schumacher 5th, Leclerc 6th, Perez 7th, Ricciardo 8th, Tsunoda 9th, and Norris finished in 10th. Next up was America, where Mick Schumacher picked up the points. Max Verstappen finished 2nd, Russell 3rd, Perez 4th, Rossi 5th, Norris 6th, Bottas 7th, Stroll 8th, Tsunoda 9th, and Leclerc finished in 10th. However, the short trip to Mexico led to Max Verstappen winning ahead of Charles Leclerc in 2nd. Schumacher finished in 3rd, rounding off the podium. Bottas 4th, Russell 5th, Norris 6th, Ocon 7th, Stroll 8th, Sainz 9th, and Tsunoda finished in 10th. And as we stay on the continent of South America, in Brazil, Max Verstappen wins ahead of Mick Schumacher in 2nd, Ricciardo 3rd, Leclerc 4th, Stroll 5th, Sainz 6th, Perez 7th, Ocon 8th, Norris 9th, and Valentino Rossi got a point in 10th. And as we head into the final 3 races of the season, Max Verstappen leads the way, 22 points ahead of Mick Schumacher. George Russell is 3rd, Stroll 4th, Ricciardo 5th, Leclerc 6th, and Norris 7th, Perez 8th, Bottas 9th, and Rossi still clinging on to 10th. And in the Constructors' Championship, AlphaTauri still lead the way, 20 points ahead of Red Bull in 2nd, Bugatti are 3rd, Mercedes 4th, Ferrari 5th, McLaren 6th, Alpine 7th, Williams 8th, and Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo and Haas all yet to score. And in the first of those 3 races, we headed down under to Australia, where Max Verstappen wins the Grand Prix ahead of Leclerc in 2nd, Perez in 3rd, Russell 4th, Mick Schumacher down in 5th and possibly handing Max Verstappen the championship there. Stroll was 6th, Sainz 7th, Ricciardo 8th, Norris 9th, and Ocon finished in 10th. And he certainly won the championship now. Max Verstappen wins in Saudi Arabia. Leclerc second, Bottas third, Schumacher fourth, Norris fifth, Perez sixth, Sainz seventh, Ricciardo eighth, Stroll ninth, and Russell got the final point in 10th. Max Verstappen finishes seasons very, very strong. And in the final race of the season, Charles Leclerc picked up victory in Abu Dhabi. Max Verstappen second, Mick Schumacher third, Russell fourth, Perez fifth, Sainz sixth, Rossi managed to get some points in 7th, Ricciardo 8th, Norris 9th, and Tsunoda got the final point plus the fastest lap in 10th. And all that means in the 2028 season, Max Verstappen does indeed win the Drivers' Championship again ahead of Mick Schumacher. 55 points the gap in the end after a disappointing final few races from Mick. Russell was third, Stroll fourth, Leclerc came fifth, Ricciardo sixth, Norris seventh, Perez eighth, Bottas ninth. Rossi managed to get a top 10 finish ahead of Sainz in 11th, Ocon 12th, Tsunoda 13th, and Antonio Giovinazzi finished in 14th. And in the Constructors, Red Bull win 48 points ahead of AlphaTauri. Bugatti finished third, Mercedes 4th, Ferrari 5th, McLaren 6th, Alpine 7th, Williams 8th, and Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo and Haas all failed to score. Will anybody ever beat Max Verstappen to a Drivers' Championship? Mick keeps going close. Can he do it? He's got 2 more attempts. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you are enjoying the series, then please do drop the video a like, give the channel a subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.